What's up, guys? This is Juan with Team PPG XFOE. Today I'm going to bring you a deck profile for a deck that I've been playing for fun. It's nothing competitive, nothing crazy. It's just a little deck, really fun to play. That's going to be Supreme Kai of Time. This is one of the new decks that came out of set 13. Supreme Kai of Time, her ability, her auto, once per turn, obviously, when she swings, you burst 3, you draw a card. It helps for this type of deck just because this is an Overwhelm deck. It allows to fill up your drop area, and that way you can just go ahead and go off with your Overwhelm. She awakens either at 4 life or once you have 8 cards in your warp. Again, if you're bursting 3 every time you swing, you're going to be able to do that fairly quickly, turn 2 per se, whatever case may be, or if you have any other cards to support that. Once she awakens, she's a draw 2 leader. Once she awakens, she has other abilities. She has an auto. Once per turn, when you activate an Overwhelm, you draw a card and you send 3 cards back from your warp to your drop. Another ability, she has an activate main. Once per turn, you pay 1 black energy, and you're able to bring basically the 1-drop 9k Unison back from your warp or drop, which we'll get into that in a minute, since that Unison's pretty useful. But the super ability that this deck has is the second activate main. Once per turn, you're able to crit a life, and all of your Overwhelms for that turn stay on field, which it's pretty good. It's pretty amazing, especially with all the variety of Overwhelm cards that we have nowadays. And let's get into the actual deck. First, we have the Unison, the Migra, Momentary Ally. This Unison is amazing. Yeah, you may think it's only 9k, but it's not necessarily. The power is more of what it does, right? The once per turn on the auto, it's not even a minus or a plus, is you burst 1 once you Overwhelm, and then it gains Wormhole, which means that basically you can Overwhelm again. So that alone, it's pretty good. The +1, you can place 2 of your black battle cards from your warp to your drop, and the -3, again, this being activate mains, you can grab up to 2 7-drops from your warp to your hand. Overwhelm cards, obviously. It allows you to, if you need to add any cards just to get any type of advantage, you're able to do so. So I haven't necessarily used that ability much. It's more of like the first auto. It's more why you want it. The +1 is also useful just to fill up the graveyard or the drop in order for you to be able to do some big Overwhelms. Aside from that, the way that I build this deck just for fun, I play 4 of the Sun Goten, the new 2-drop. This is an Overwhelm 2. It has crit. When you Overwhelm, you drop 2 cards from the top of your deck to your drop, and you draw a card. The reason why I'm playing this card is a 10k. At the beginning of the game, when the leader is on Awaken, you're able to obviously apply that pressure with that crit. And the idea of the deck, as you guys will see in a second, is basically focused around crit or making you spend cards. Why? Because when this leader was revealed, everybody was thinking about, the 8-drop Fu. Oh my god, it's going to be so amazing. He can stay. He can do all this stuff. And, his effects are active or whatnot. So the idea is that when I deal damage, I give you less card advantage as possible. So all of you're going to see here, or majority of the things that you're going to see here are going to be like crit and stuff like that. This card just allows you to do that for 2. You can do it right away, as soon as you're able to attack. And then set up the next Overwhelm with the milling on his own ability. Aside from that, we play the 4-drop Vegeta Overwhelm. Again, it basically goes with this. The play basically would be, if you are able to swing, you swing with your lead, mill 3, you can play the Unison, you Overwhelm into this guy, send the 3 that you milled, then you activate his ability, then you burst here as well. Now you have 3 in the drop again. You swing for a 10k crit. Your opponent's either going to take the crit or is going to spend cards from hand not to take it. And then you Overwhelm into this guy. And this guy, then you can place up to 3 cards on your drop again. And it's a 15k crit as well. So it's either they're going to take it or they're going to combo out of it. But at that point, if they take it, it doesn't go to their hand. If they don't, they're spending cards from their hand. And we're talking about turn 1 per se, the first turn that you can attack. Granted, that's given that you have this combo right here, which is fairly easy to achieve even though you have a lot of cards in your deck. So that's basically the idea behind that. And that's the reason why we're playing those cards. Moving forward, we also play Champa. I'm playing with this. Right now I have it at 2. I had it at 3. It's just a spacing issue type of deal. I'm just messing with it for now. Just because you have so many things that do crit, who doesn't like a double strike crit? Good old double strike crit. So Not much to say here. It's just it's super good if you see it earlier in the game. It's either they're going to spend a lot of cards from their hand not to take it, or they're just going to take a double strike crit. Moving on, we also play the SS3 Tag Team Trunks. Again, goes back with the thematic of the deck. This guy, when you Overwhelm, he gains crit. He has an activate battle, you can discard a card, and he also gains double strike on his own. So now you're swinging for 50k double strike crit as well. It's basically the same idea. Moving forward, we have the 3-drop Overwhelm Kai. This is just to see cards. Sometimes you need to see a specific battle card for whatever type of play you're trying to do. When you Overwhelm with this card, you can look at top 3, grab a battle card, and put the rest at the bottom. It's just to cycle through the deck to be able to see certain things. It's basically, and it's another Overwhelm card, of course. We play 2 of the SS3 Tag Team Son Gohan. This is more for a defense type of thing. Since you're overrolling so much and you're doing certain things, you can, every time the Overwhelm leaves or if something happens, you can just play this for free and, be secure, protected, and nothing's going to happen to you. Because this is a blocker, of course. We play 2 of the Pseudo Super Combo Kai. This is a black deck. Black decks necessarily don't draw like crazy, so you're going to have a certain amount of cards in hand. This guy basically becomes a super combo once you have 5 cards or less in your hand. And I only have it at 2 for now. I was thinking of bumping it up. Again, it's just a spacing issue, and this is just a fun deck. So I'm just tweaking it and messing around with it. But I think that everybody knows what this does because of Vegeks, basically. We play 3 Power Burst just to add certain things. It's just a negate. We can go ahead and add the Kai back to hand if we used it. We don't necessarily have that many targets to add back to hand, but it's just for the fact that it's a sparking negate. Most of the time, necessarily, you won't have the sparking. It just depends. But it's just to add certain things. That's why it's only at 3. Moving on, we play 3 of the new negates. The Kai Labyrinth. This guy is basically for 1 energy as long as you have, in between your opponent, like 3 cards in your warp. You can play for 1. When it comes to field, negates the attack, and then you can target something without barrier, obviously, and it removes it, it warps it from your opponent's field until the end of the turn, and it comes back with their effects negated, so the autos won't trigger again, basically. They all play autos. Again, it's just another defensive step that you have, just not to die. Obviously, you want to save your life for you to take the crit to make the Overwhelm card stay. So you want to have as much defense as possible in order for you to do that. We play 3 of the Bardock that limits the attack. This guy is an Overwhelm 6. You pay 1 black. Once you play this guy, your opponent can only attack with 1 battle card for the next turn, until the beginning of your next turn. So again, this is just goes with the defensive step. It's also a 25k that you can apply pressure with. We play 3 just because you want to see it sometimes, depending on what matchup you're playing against. If it's something super aggro that goes super wide, you definitely want to see this card. Again, I'm still tweaking the numbers, but this card's been pretty good so far. We play 2 of the Mass Saiyan. This guy just steals games sometimes, depending on the situation. If somebody goes at you with a quad strike, triple strike, whatever case may be, you just nick this guy in, and then you end up just taking 1 damage, which is pretty good at the end of the day. That you can even get Cell Santa if they don't happen to hit this. If they do it on turn 5, and you do have the energy open for it, you can just go ahead and do that. I think everybody pretty much is familiar with this card, Dark Broly and stuff. So I'm playing this super combo. The reason why I'm playing this, there's 2 reasons why I'm playing this super combo. Reason number 1, honestly, I couldn't find my Vegetas. Reason number 2, I kind of wanted to try, the 15k, obviously for this super combo. Kind of wanted to see, how it would work out. Again, I'm just testing and messing around with the deck. I was just more focused on the defensive side of it, so I kind of wanted the 15k boost for this guy. Moving forward, I'm playing 3 of the Goku promo. This guy is a 30k Overwhelm, that once you Overwhelm, you can grab a card from your warp that's 7 drop or less. You can just basically grab, another Overwhelm card that you need. If you need one of the guys, that prevents the attack. If you have the Wormhole active, you can just play this guy, Overwhelm, grab the other guy, swing with Kai, or do something else, and, Wormhole and Overwhelm again. It's just pretty good. With him, to accompany him, I have the Vegeta as well. 3 of the Vegeta, the new Vegeta from set 13. This guy is a crit guy, goes with the thematic, Overwhelm 6 for 1 energy. He also, when he swings, he gets rid of basically battle cards up to 4. It doesn't ignore barrier, which helps, but ultimately, the idea between these two guys is to play this guy. And yes, I would play more of these. I just don't have any more at the moment. Unfortunately, I sold all the other ones, but this is what we got for now. This card is just amazing. This is the new Gogeta promo. This card is not limited to a Saiyan leader. For 1 energy, you can send basically the Goku and Vegeta from your warp to your drop and play it for free. Well, not for free, but you pay 1 energy, but it's just amazing. It's a 25k double striker. It does have unique, so you got to keep that in mind. But when he attacks, you can also get, he has an auto in which you can send battle cards to the warp from your opponent's side to the warp. So that's just amazing. Even if you didn't have that ability, the simple fact that you can play for 1 and send these guys back to your drop, fill up your drop for, you know, more Overwhelm or, you know, whatever you're trying to do, and then you have a 25k on board double striker, it's just, this card is just amazing. We play 4 of the Boo extension. Again, more defense. It's really tough once you're 15, you know, and you activate one of this card, you become 30. And then on top of that, you can mill up to 4. You fill out your graveyard, you know, your drops in order for you to set up a next big boy Overwhelm or whatever case, whatever you're trying to do. So this card's just pretty good in the deck. We play 3 of the gravy, again, just to fill up the graveyard. Sometimes there are occasions, even though, you know, you mill so much and you do so many things, you have some Overwhelm 6 that you're trying to play, but you just can't because you don't have the cards, or, you know, you get stopped one way or the other, so you're unable to mill. This guy just helps you set it up even before you get there. Same with Majin Boo's extension. It just allows you to have, you know, that resource in your drop in order for you to be able to make your plays. We play 2 Miras, the 7-drop Mira. This guy's more, I was trying it out just as a finisher, because sometimes you just kind of want, you know, that extra push. As you know, this guy gains 5k for every card in your warp. Given the deck, chances are you'll have a lot. So this guy's probably going to be super big. If you have a champion hand, you can, you know, the good old Mera Champa for a double strike for 200k on your lead or whatever case may be. So I was trying it out. You know, it's a finisher. It's been working out pretty good so far. So I think I'm going to keep it for now and then kind of, you know, kind of go from there. We played 2 of the dual attack Bardock. This guy Overwhelm for 6. It's just a 25k dual attack. It's been seeing a lot of play on different decks. I love this art. I only have this one, even though this is, the winner is better or whatever, but this art just looks great. That's why you see 2 different ones. But this guy's just amazing. It's been seeing a lot of play on different decks. It's just being able to just play this guy for free and be a dual attacker, 25k, is just so much value. Again, if you combine it with the Champa and other things, it's just great. It's just great for you to be able to do that. Then we play A-Drop Fu. So this is the boy. I play it at 3, just because I kind of want to see it. I had it at 4, but like I said, I had a spacing issue. This guy, I mean, he doesn't need any introduction. Triple attack, you play it for 4 Overwhelm, for 4 energy, Overwhelm 8. Once this guy is on the field, every time he has a permanent, every time your opponent is going to activate a skill, he has to warp a card. So if you think about it, and we go back to the beginning of the game, and we're swinging with crits, we're swinging, you know, double strike crits and doing all that stuff, it's either they're taking a crit damage that they're not adding to their life, or they're defending the critical, which means they're spending cards from their hand. So the lower their hand, the more damage this guy is going to do when he comes onto the field, especially when you do the Kai ability and you make him stay. Now you make him stay, every time that your opponent tries to activate something, they're going to have to discard a card or warp a card from their hand. So, which means they're not going to have that many resources. Even if they're able to do certain things and get rid of them or whatever case may be, chances are, you know, their hand's going to be pretty low. Granted, obviously we have Mecha Frieza running Rampart and yellow things going crazy, but you can't think that way. You just got to think that this guy is just going to do a lot of damage, and, you know, this guy is just going to be crazy once you play it, and, you know, when he just stays on the field. I think that this combination is pretty good if you manage to do it. Obviously, you also have to be smart with it, because you can just pay for and tap out, because potentially you can die. It just depends on the situation, but depending on the situation, more often than not, this is a pretty good play. Lastly, the card that we play is the SCR. So this one I was just trying it out. Obviously with Kai, you would play Kai. It's, you know, it's a given. But this one was more of for a defensive side of things. I was just testing it out. It's pretty good. I'm pretty sure you guys know this is the new Shenron that came out on set 13. This guy just basically for 2 energy, depending on how much energy you have, you can bring it into the field and tap out battle cards and unisons up to the same amount of energy that you have or whatnot. And then he himself is a blocker. Then at the same time, you can pay during your turn, you can pay 4 energy, and he becomes a dual attacker, double strike. It's just a finisher basically at that point. I don't really use that ability much. If anything, it's more of like the tapping ability on the games that I've played so far. But again, it's just testing it out. I still think Kai is better. I just kind of wanted to try it out with this guy just to see how it would do. All right, guys, that's pretty much the deck profile. Shout out to Team PPG XFOE. Stay mahoney, guys. See ya.